Welcome to a tool bag channel. This is a tool bag. These are a couple radiator hoses. You might have guessed that, unless you thought I had really small hands or these are really big heater hoses. That's another possibility. These are off of a 2020 Silverado 1500, just regular gas V8. And I did a radiator on it not too terribly long ago. These radiators from I believe, the 2019 and up, these are known for cracking on the driver's side front top corner of the radiator. And that was the case with this one. It's been the case with a few others. And got that repaired, a new radiator in it. Everything was good to go for a couple months. I am going to be changing my procedure on that based on what I found when this truck came back a couple months later with another coolant leak. They reported that it started to get hot a couple times, coolant was low. They filled it up, brought it over to me, and I got to looking. Put a pressure tester on the reservoir and got up to the cap is rated for 20 psi, so I figure, okay, the rest of the system must be 20 psi. I got it up to 19, at least according to the gauge on my pressure tester. Got it up to 19, and what I saw was on the upper radiator hose, we had coolant slowly seeping out through the hose, the end of the hose. And that is strange to see on a truck that is only 5 years old, on radiator hoses that are only 5 years old. Of course, it's also strange to see this happen on or to see a radiator fail on such a young truck as well. Now, this is where the old hats will, come in and say, "I told you so. I told you when you change the radiator, you should change the radiator hoses too." And you know what? Okay, you're right. The thought process in my head was, this is only a 5-year-old radiator. Clearly, it's just a defect in the radiator and just the plastic tanks on the side. It's just a defective part. We'll replace this. The rest of the system is still practically brand new, at least by my reckoning. I drive a 30-year-old car, So in my mind, okay, everything else is pretty much new. We shouldn't have to touch anything else. We shouldn't have to do the whole radiator and hoses and water pump and blah, 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 so on and so forth, that a lot of people will recommend, say, well, if you're opening the cooling system, do it all. That I get on a 20-year-old vehicle that's getting its first radiator. I did not think that would be the case with a 5-year-old truck, but sure enough, we had one failed radiator hose, and from now on, whenever these radiators come to me on this 2019 and up Chevy truck, I'm going to do at least an upper radiator hose with the radiator. And now, let me show you why. So curious about what could have done this, I decided to yank the radiator hoses off and cut them open to see what we got. Now, the lower radiator hose, I did not see any leaking from it, and this will give us a good example of kind of what you expect to see when you open up the inside of these things. So this is kind of white-ish now. It's been sitting outside for a few days. I haven't got a chance to get to this. But you see, even when you curl it open, everything is nice and smooth. Looks the way it's supposed to. This radiator hose probably would have gone for a much, much longer time past this. No issues with this one. This radiator hose is the upper. And let's see what we got. We got two sides. Okay, it tells us. Yep. There's the radiator side. We'll start there. Radiator side naturally is going to be the cooler side of the hose. You can see here, nice and smooth. Nothing out of the ordinary so far. We work our way up towards the engine. We start to see a couple little bitty hairline cracks as we get closer to the source of the heat. We got some more cracks there. And finally, once we get up to where it goes into the engine itself, oh goodness. That is not good. That's not good at all. Especially right there and right here. Look at that. You can even see the cords that give the hose, its strength. You can see that through there. It's broken all the way through. So what was happening was the radiator hose wasn't nicked on the outside or anything like that. It wasn't swollen and blown up. It wasn't, no loose hose clamp or anything like that. What happened was, I guess when the truck got hot, and it's not even, the thing I thought too was this must be one of those things where it's got the newer thermostat that's like 216 degrees or something like that. That's on some vehicles now. No, it's OE temperature is, it was something reasonable, 192 degrees, something like that. But what happened was this thing got a little hot, and I don't see it. I see this on 20-year-old hoses. I don't see this on 5-year-old hoses ever. But I don't know. I don't know if the way the hose is made is inferior to what I've been seeing before, or what the deal is with this. But it's going to change my procedure now because I don't want this to happen again. So what happened is once it cracked through there, that coolant is seeping in between the inner layer, the outer layer, along those fibers that give the hose its strength, and is coming out not between the hose and the barb from the radiator. It's leaking out through the fiber layer itself. Wild. So that is what I discovered with that. If you are changing a radiator on one of these newer Chevy trucks, I would strongly consider going ahead and doing hoses with it as well. Just like somebody doing this, 30 years longer than me could have told you that. Like they say, some people got to learn the hard way, I guess. I learned the hard way here. I don't know if this is peculiar to this particular hose, the way that this one is made. If they overstretch this elbow during the manufacturing, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But what I do know is right here, this was a problem. This is not usually a problem. If you're doing a radiator on a 2019 and up Chevy truck, strongly consider doing at least the upper radiator hose as well, whether you think you need it or not. That is it for now. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a good one.